Welcome, Virgo and Virgo cross watchers, to your singles and new love read for April 2023. So we're going to get where you are, where you're headed, what you need to know, and then we're going to get the next love interest for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And of course, that will be time-stamped in the description box below. So I do apologize, Virgo. This card was already out by the time I realized I had to start recording. So here we are. So we have the Four of Cups reversed for where you're at right now. Virgo, I feel like you're in a position where it's almost like the general consensus, or the general population, if you will, kind of expects you to be upset about something, but it feels like internally you're doing kind of backflips about it. You know what I mean? It's like if it was upright, it's almost like that would be kind of what I'm seeing you're actually feeling, but reversed, it's I don't know why this is what it is, but it's almost like you're kind of quietly giggling to yourself, like, ha 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 ha, ha, that worked out better than I thought. There just seems to be something here where you're feeling like it's almost like you got everything that you wanted out of a specific situation. But it's almost like people might even be apologizing to you, like, oh, I'm so sorry it worked out that way, da 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 da. And I feel like you're just kind of in the background, like, almost feeling like, oh, if they only knew. I feel like for some of you, it may be hard to contain your smile. So where is Virgo headed? The deck is upright, okay? See, the deck is upright. It's not me. We have the King of Wands reversed as where you're headed. And I almost said Gemini, and I did Gemini way earlier today, so it's not like it was I've done a few reads between now and then, so it's not like it was right after. But anyway, I'm gonna be honest with you, Virgo. The King of Wands is not the best card. Reversed, it's like it's not the best card even more, right? The King of Wands reversed is someone that is a bit of an opportunist. Okay, I'm gonna call you out. So just warning you ahead of time that that's what's gonna come out of my mouth here. I actually feel like it's almost like there was something that was so easy about what you ended up doing here that I feel like it's almost like you found like it's like you found the easy button to almost like kind of manipulating the universe to like bend it to your will. And I feel like there is a bit of a heads up here that it's almost like if you aren't aware of that, if you kind of don't catch yourself, I feel like you may end up kind of orchestrating something that you feel bad about later on. It's almost like you might end up feeling, I don't feel like you've lost everything that you gained initially, but it does feel like you end up losing something in the process that you'd rather not lose. And what does Virgo need to know here? Come on, man. Like, honestly, Virgo, I love you, and I'm trying to be positive here, but for the love of all that's holy, we got the devil for what you need to know. So what I'm here's the thing. I feel like you may be encountering somebody that is, it almost feels like they're less of that than, or no, you're less of that kind of energy than they are. And I feel like it's almost like some of you may get stuck in this trap or not stuck in this trap, but you may kind of get sucked into this energy where it's like other people are doing things that are worse than you. Sorry, I must be getting kind of a cold because my nose is really stuffy. I'll try not to sniff too often. it just feels like something's wrong. I almost want to say like pump the brakes. I feel like this, I kind of don't, I try not to usually get into this sort of thing because I know everybody has different beliefs, but I'm kind of getting here that it's almost like there's this test that you're being put through. I feel like there's something here. It's almost like if, for example, you were to continue on the path that you're on, I feel like you get a glimpse of what the future you would look like. And it's almost like if you put yourself in a position where you're like, oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen to me. I feel like it's almost like it kind of gives this energy a foothold on you, if that makes sense. We're gonna get some clarifiers because what the heck, Virgo? Okay. Can we get a clarifier on this double energy? We have the Two of Swords. Jesus. I'm sorry to say that, but like, come on. So the Two of Swords usually talks about not being able to see something or willfully ignoring something. You just might not like me this whole read if you even stick around for it. I just kind of feel like whatever's going on here. Okay. Virgo, if you're still here, I feel like something is actually being misrepresented to you. It's almost like going back to this energy, whatever it is that you may have related to when it came to this energy, I feel like there's something here. It's almost like you may have felt originally that what you were doing was like a good thing, or it was kind of, I almost want to say like the righteous thing to do. And I want to stress, not that you're being self-righteous, okay? Just that it was like the right thing to do. And I actually feel like, okay. Oh, I don't like that at all. I think someone's laying a trap for you. And I think they are counting on you not being able to see it. And from what I'm seeing, they might come in acting kind of stupid, kind of dumb, like they don't know what's going on. They know exactly what's going on. And it's almost like they're counting on you, almost kind of like assuming that they're harmless so they can kind of lay whatever trap they're laying here. This person's kind of they just feel like a bit of a pill, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, I don't know where this is coming from. It didn't, I hope it's not too annoying. It's annoying for me. Sorry, just a moment here. Okay. So. Yeah. We're going to use this deck. Can we get a clarifier between the Four of Cups and the King of Wands? Hanged Man, also reversed. Like, I don't know if Mercury retrograde just has some, heavy plans for you or strong plans for you. Because all three cards representing you are reversed. So I feel like, it just feels like there's this might be a very ethereal read, okay? So I'm letting you know ahead of time. If that's not really your jam, you can certainly skip forward to the timestamps for the next love interest. Kind of what I'm seeing is that here's this kind of like, this real piece of work person over here that's laying this trap. But I feel like there's somebody here that actually sees what's going on. And it's almost like there's this battle between the powers of good and the powers of bad it's like they're kind of fighting over who gets to, I was hearing, they're kind of fighting over your essence, your soul. And what's interesting is that it's almost like the crappy one, right? The darker one, I almost want to say not darker necessarily, but the more vile one. I feel like that presence it's almost like in the same way that this one wants you to underestimate them, this one is also foolish enough to underestimate this one. Because it's almost like it's just a harmless bat, right? But I feel like it's almost like it may look like a harmless bat, but there's thousands more where that came from, is kind of the gist that I'm getting here. And it's almost like whoever this person is has run into this one before. And, or at least has known people that have run into them. And they seem to feel like they have safeguarded themselves against that. And from what I'm seeing, no, they haven't. It almost feels like the kind of energy of like someone that's going to talk a lot. Like someone whose bark is worse than their bite. And someone who doesn't play around. Like they don't play with barks. They're not going to sit there and bark. They're just going to make things happen. And I feel like this person sees this other one that's actually kind of looking out for you as incapable of stopping them. There may be, if they're, actual people, I feel like there's a size difference, a significant one. But this one, they seem to have, it feels like, it's almost like this hypnotic power. I feel like there's somebody that it's almost like they could change someone's mind just by kind of almost like staring at them or looking at them for a long time. Like that's what I'm saying when I mean like there's something very ethereal about this read. So I think we're going to pull some advice for you. I'm just looking at which deck to use. One sec. Can we get some advice for Virgo, please? What's the best step for the best outcome? Just going to make sure nothing else flopped around. Thought maybe one card. Okay, maybe not. Okay. The tarot just, asked me if it stuttered, which it didn't. So we have, your advice here is the Hanged Man, but it's upright, right? So reverse, the Hanged Man is somebody that sees exactly what's going on and makes a plan. But upright, the Hanged Man is someone that is waiting to get a different perspective. So Virgo, the biggest and it feels like the most powerful message here is wait. I feel like there is, it doesn't feel like it will take very long. It's like it's just long enough for all of the blood, like when you're hanging upside down, it's almost like it's a split second. It's just long enough for all the blood to rush to your head and you'll see something very, very clearly. And I feel like whatever it is that this one sees, you'll see. And it's almost like you seem to conquer the situation through non-action, if that makes sense. I feel like you kind of end up seeing that this one has been, or like this one or some influence has been overseeing the situation. And it's almost like in order for this situation to go in your favor, the clock is already ticking on that. And not that you have to rush in and do anything, but it's like somebody already set those wheels in motion. So, now we're going to do for, I'm just going to get a pencil to write down the times. 1 second. Just looking at which deck we're going to use for the next love interest. So, my little post-it, 1 second here. Okay, so, just going to make sure the deck is upright. Who's the next love interest for Virgo? Oh my God. Okay. Look at this. Okay. So we have the Father, or this would be the King of Wands, upright, and we have the King of Wands reversed there. And then We have the Two of Swords again at the bottom of the deck. So who's the next love interest? Ooh. It feels like it's someone that is quite powerful. It feels like it's just, again, I'm just going to say it one more time, then I'll stop saying it. This may be a little bit of a different read. It may not resonate with everybody. I feel like it's almost like this person may have a vendetta against this one, like a pre-existing one before you kind of became at odds with that one. And I feel, sorry to say, that this person may initially be attracted to you because they see that this devil person kind of wants to get in there and do something. And so this one over here is like, oh, that's the person you want? Okay, cool. I'm going to go get them then. You know what I mean? I feel like it's someone that is very warlike, someone that is kind of petty and takes jabs. And it's almost like they may fawn all over you when this one's around. But when they're not, it's like this one is going to be on their phone, otherwise occupied. And I feel like, and if they see you start to go away, it's like if they kind of forget for a second why they're there, they're just like, yeah, let him go. But I feel like, but then this one walks in and this person's like, oh, wait, no. You know what I mean? I feel like it just ends up being, again, it feels like it's the same type of deal. Like there are two forces here that are fighting over you, but not for the right reasons. Not because they want to love and cherish and honor you, right? It's more because this one wants to mess this up and this one just hates this one. So it's like, well, I'm just going to take Virgo from them. You know what I mean? It's like, well, where's the love for Virgo? Excuse me. I'm catching an attitude, so I'm going to calm down. I think we will get a clarifier for this Father, or this King of Wands. I'm just looking at my decks here. What ends up being this King of Wands feelings about Virgo? What does that end up? So we have the Seven of Pentacles, and then we have the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the Hermit there. So, I mean, I'm going to be honest. This person definitely sees that there is value in having you around. I feel like it's almost like these two could be giving each other, you know, like an evil glare from across the room. And if you're unaware of the situation, it's like, well, you're here and you're kind of like straightening up their shirt collar, or they're, you know, smoothing down their hair, or their whatever it is, right? And this person, it feels like they're the kind of person that would kind of swat you away, like swat your hand away if you were doing something like that. But it also feels like it's almost like the care and concern that you express for this person, it makes them uncomfortable. They like it and it makes them feel important, but there's something about, you know, making that kind of a fuss, that makes them uncomfortable. I feel like it reminds them of the last time somebody really cared about them, and I feel like they may have sworn that off to a certain extent. Okay. Tarot's just making it all sorts of, well, not tarot, but like, goodness gracious. Virgo. All right. So for those of you with your moon in Virgo, excuse me, we have the World. Wow, with the Ten of Wands. So, sorry, probably should go like this. it feels listen, it feels infinitely better than the Virgo Sun in Virgo. The Moon in Virgo, it's just got this kind of vibe where um, almost like rose-colored glasses. I feel like this person looks at you kind of with stars in their eyes, and it's almost like it feels like the kind of person that may build. They seem to have you idealized, right? And it's like they fall or they have fallen for the idealized version of you, the version of you that they know in their mind. And it's almost like, and they have that version of you before they even get to know you. I feel like this energy may keep an eye on this world bit here, but not terribly closely. It's like they'll do what needs to be done to kind of scare this one off if that's what they choose to do. But they kind of end up seeing this other person as pretty harmless. They seem to find them comical, but not laughing with them, laughing at them. I feel like this person is, I mean, we already know what kind of person they are, right? But I just feel like there's something here that you may, I'm sorry, Virgo. I don't really see you being super interested in this person. I don't really see you kind of wanting much of anything. I feel like, excuse me, I feel like they're just a little too eager. It feels like it's almost like you have bigger fish to fry. They seem like they're not that they aren't interesting. It just seems like to you, they really aren't. I feel like you may see that differently if you're able to kind of bypass this King of Wands reversed energy. If you get into that Hanged Man energy, I actually feel like you're going to see something really, really special about this person. It does feel like it's not something that takes off right away. And I feel like a big part of that is because you're dealing, like you see this issue and you know that it needs to be dealt with before. It's almost like this person has this like naive innocence about them. And I kind of feel like it's almost like you kind of want to protect that about them, or it's almost like you see the situation as being too hard for them to handle and don't want to drag them into it. It's that kind of an energy. So I just feel like you would like to pursue them. I feel like there is that chemistry there. It actually just feels like you may get some counsel that seems wise to you, certainly at the time, that it's not the right time. Do you have some advice for Virgo Moon? So we have the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Lots of reversed cards for you today. I feel like there's this energy of like, don't rush. The Queen of Wands is someone that is very attractive but very impulsive, and reversed, it's like that's not somebody you want to be on their bad side. And then this Knight of Swords reversed is that's that like impulsive, coming in like a bat out of hell sort of deal. Certainly in terms of the speed. And I feel like there's this message that it's almost like you, in the past, you may have wanted to rush towards it, but I feel like something's changed here for you. And it's almost like you may be pleasantly surprised that even though you feel the chemistry with this person, you don't actually want to pursue them right now because of all of this. So, for those of you with I almost said, excuse me, Gemini rising. I know you're Virgo. I said that at the beginning of the read if you didn't hear that. I almost went to say Gemini when the first cards came out, and I did that reading way earlier today with other reads in between. So it's not like, it's definitely, whoops. I don't know if you're dealing with a Gemini or if It's almost like you may be developing certain Gemini qualities. Anyway. For those of you with a Virgo rising, we have the Nine of Wands. I feel like this is someone, we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. With the Ten of Cups under that, goodness. So, I feel with this person, this is kind of the, the Wounded Warrior card. And I feel like they're shy. You know what I mean? It feels like the kind of person that's like kind of been put through the ringer. And they definitely feel like they're shy, but, and it's almost like they may kind of approach you, but then back all the whole way off for a while. It's that kind of a thing. I'm out of breath all of a sudden. I feel like this person does seem to be someone that you're interested in. There just seems to be something here about, it just seems like, again, it's not the right time for you. And it's not the card saying, hey, it's not the right time. I feel like that's the energy that I'm picking up from you in that moment, right? It just doesn't feel like it's the right time. I feel like with this person, to them, and again, I'm not trying to make you feel bad or anything, but I feel like with this person, oh my God, look at that. They seem to, I feel like number one, they do seem to be cut out for kind of making this work with you. It just feels like they seem to have a hard time kind of working up the nerve to come and talk to you. You know what I mean? Not that they're insecure, it's just shy. It's almost like meeting your celebrity crush, right? Or running into somebody famous that you've always really looked up to. I could have sworn that a card turned over, so I'm just going to check this way. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to find if something has kind of flipped. No. Mar. Oh, just me. Sorry about that. So, we have the Four of Swords. I feel like there's a very suspicious energy in your camp. So it may not necessarily be you. Excuse me, but definitely in your camp. And that energy is very suspicious of this person, even though it's almost like there's something that somebody's holding over their head. And I feel like this person, it's almost like there's more to the story with this one. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, they themselves may kind of have this lamb energy, but they still have all these daggers that are kind of following them around. And I feel like it's almost like they might not even know that they're there. And the fact that they don't know that they're there, the danger is so close, I feel like that makes this kind of suspicious energy even more suspicious. I do feel like this person has a really good heart and the best of intentions. I am kind of picking up this vibe that this person may unknowingly or unwittingly kind of lead you down the wrong path. So I want to stress, of course, judge for yourself in the situation and trust yourself, but it just kind of feels like something's really off here. It's almost like this person may act like a lamb, but it feels to a certain extent they may have left some sort of like wake of destruction in their path, and then they just kind of allow themselves to fall into this like innocent energy. Almost like, part of me wants to say like because they don't want to take responsibility, but what I'm kind of picking up is they genuinely find a way to believe that it's really not their responsibility. So, last but certainly not least, we have those of you with your Venus in Virgo. Venus like we have the Five of Cups, then we have the Star and the Father. Yeah, sorry, the Father of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So I mean, with this combination, and even just taking that to the side for a second, wait a minute. This person seems to have a plan in place. There's a lot of like intrigue and mystery in your read. You know what I mean? Like there's all this kind of like, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. I'm not trying to downplay it if your life is maybe quite difficult right now. It just feels like all of this stuff, it's almost like, you know, a bad soap opera, right? Where it's like where you can see the plot coming a mile away, but the people that are involved, it's like they purposefully missed signs. Not that that's you, but it's that kind of a like, it's almost like it just kind of feels like it's getting out of hand. So with this Five of Cups here, that of course talks about, you know, regret and sadness and feeling, you know, like you've lost more than you've gained. And what's interesting is that I feel like this person may be acting like that because it benefits them to do so right now. But I feel like they are being a bit of an opportunist. And it's almost like in the same way that you were kind of using, you were just kind of allowing a certain situation to play out. Not so that it would work to your benefit, but more, it's like it just kind of ended up happening that way. I feel like this person may be putting some sort of situation in motion to benefit themselves, and you seem to be part of that plan, but I feel like they're here to use you. I feel like they might act like oh, they've been hurt before and they're this and they're that, and they might act like they're a really nice person. I don't, from what I'm seeing, I feel like they'll only be a nice person as long as you serve some sort of purpose, right? As long as you, because we have these, and then the Lovers with the Ten of Swords, right? So it's like there's something here that isn't quite right, and I just feel like, I'm just gonna stack these off. It feels like this person is somebody that if ever you have seen the Avengers movie, and spoiler alert, I'll count to 5 so you can pause it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in Avengers, I think it was Endgame, the very, very last one, where Thanos ends up throwing Gamora off of the cliff. And it's like it's hard for them, but they did exactly what, like they still achieved their goal. There still is a certain amount of pride. It's almost like kissing with your eyes open. And I'm not saying that everybody does that as like Thanos, okay? But it's almost like this person, there's something that's disingenuous about them. They're not allowing themselves to kind of lean into the moment that they're in. And I feel like it's because they have a plan. So I think I'll leave it there, Virgo. If this reading resonated, I almost want to say like, I'm sorry. I hope that if it did, it was helpful, that it brought you some clarity. I love you so much, Virgo, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.